Thank you very much, Matt. So I'm having a deja vu moment here. 9 years ago, up in Petoskey, I did this for our daughter Kelly and Ryan, and Matt, you were there. Collision 6 was there, and it's so awesome. So some people told me the bar was set pretty high that night, so I'm actually feeling a little pressure right now, especially after that entrance. How am I going to top that, right? I mean, come on. But what a great day, evening, weekend, and nobody deserves it more than these two. I should say right off the bat, my son Joey told me over under the betting line on emotional, I call them emotional disruptions. It's not crying. The over under is 3. So I'm betting the under personally. So let's see how that. No, Joe says over. I don't know, but I got to put these on. 9 years ago, I didn't need these, but I do now. So bear with me. So what a great day. That the church was so beautiful. The mass was incredible. I mean, really, my heart is so full and inspired by these two. And like I said, nobody deserves it more than these two, and I couldn't be happier for them. So for those who don't know me, I think probably everyone does now, but I'm John. I'm the very proud father of this most beautiful bride, and I'm so inspired by the support and the love that they've shown for each other since we first met Joe. And it's incredible. And like I said, it just makes me so happy. On behalf of my lovely wife, Mary, and there she is. And Yvonne and John Snyder, I'd like to welcome you all to this tremendous celebration of love, and really we thank you for being here and for joining us tonight, because you guys are what makes this a party, right? And so it's awesome. There are 2 people that aren't physically with us tonight, and I need to say that we need to recognize John Snyder and Grandma Van, right? Yeah, I think Father Dennis said it. They're not with us physically, but they're in our hearts, right? And they're definitely in our hearts. And Joe said it very well last night. That was great. It's amazing. And so I'd just like to take we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Let's take a moment of silence and just in your own way recognize those two. Thank you. So the thing is, when I first saw this venue, I had to wear a hard hat. It was under construction. But it's so fitting when you think about it. Here we are on the 13th floor with a glass ceiling, and we have, Grandma and John up there looking down on us. They're smiling. They're so happy. So, yeah. All right, that's one. Don't count that one, Joe. So, I'd like to welcome Joe to our family. It feels like he's been a part of our family for a while. When I first met Joe, Mary and I were like, wow, this guy, he's special. They had this special thing between the two of them, and we just, we love Joe so much. All right, that might be one. But the thing is, Joe, he's such a strong person, big heart, and it went through a lot. And, I asked him during John's illness, and are you doing okay? And he would say, this might be 2. He would say, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, right? And nobody tougher. That's all that he needed to say, and I knew right away you were going to be okay. So the thing is, I never got to see Joe play football. I probably did at Boys Bowl or something, but I was rooting for the other team. But I think they, I think they probably beat us. Well, Jimmy, you were there. Yeah. So, but at Catholic Central and at Hillsdale, but getting to know Joe and being a coach for a lot of years, I can tell the kind of player he was. Okay, team player, fierce competitor, leader, all of that. And you can see it. And so I kind of got to see it a little bit over the last couple years. We have this little family hockey game at Birmingham Arena on the studio ice. And Joe, you know, he didn't play hockey at a high level. Let's just say pond hockey level. But he really is competitive, right? And so he's out there. Last year, he was really doing pretty good, working hard. He actually dangled Henry, our 5-year-old grandson, and he was literally going to go in and score, but Bo, our 6-year-old grandson, skated behind him, stripped the puck, and went the other way and scored. So I'm like, but you could see he was hurt a little bit, but he didn't show it. So Joe, thank you. But I'm going to tell you that competitiveness is going to come in handy when you play Courtney on the pickleball courts, because literally that's going to be that's going to be a bad. I want to watch. I would pay to watch that. Yeah. But now let's talk a little bit about Courtney. And you know, I only have 20 minutes. You said, yeah. No. So I think she said 7, but that doesn't matter. So Courtney, you know, from a young age, strong-willed, competitive, determined leader. She played nearly every sport. She wanted to play every one, and she played most of them, and some of them quite well. It wasn't all about winning for her. I mean, it was a lot about winning for her, but she just liked to be in the moment, right? And she loved creating moments, and she had this thing where she tries to get people to get out of their comfort zone. And if you're, you know, her family, her friends know this very well, and her teammates, that she will challenge you to get out of your comfort zone, and it really makes you a better person. And she does it to me all the time, and it's like, Joe, get ready, you know, it's like, yeah. But she's a very optimistic person and very inspirational. She would always give sideline pep talks and locker room pregame talks. Courtney was always the one to stand up and say something. And I think her greatest locker room talk was the AAA girls hockey state championship game in Lansing. Yeah, Gabby's here. Gabby was on the other team. Sorry, Gabby, but I can't remember U16, U18, but it was AAA. They're playing in Lansing. They're playing a team, Gabby's team. They've never beaten them, not even come close. I think they got beat 8-0 in the round robin. And Courtney gets up in the locker room. I wasn't there, but I heard all about it. She recites almost a full speech from Herb Brooks in the 1980 USA Hockey against Russia, the greatest upset of all time, when USA beat Russia, and she's up there talking about this is our time, their time is over, all of that, and what happens? They go out and win, and they go to the Nationals. It was like unbelievable. But that's Courtney, and yeah, that, you know, unbelievable. We love her. So I talked a bit about inspiration tonight, and I think that's kind of the theme here. You know, we get inspiration in a lot of different ways. And, you know, our 3 kids, our grandkids inspire Mary and I constantly. But Courtney, you know, there was this special thing, and I'm not even sure she's aware of it, but she inspired me for a lot of years. And I'll tell you this story. She was in kindergarten at Our Lady of Sorrows, and you know, they always do something for Father's Day. It's some trinket of something, and I always kept them in my dresser. But this year, her kindergarten teacher, they did my dad. Well, let's see. I actually brought it here, so let's see. I love you, Daddy. No, that's 2. That wasn't. I think that was 2. Come on. I love you, Daddy, because, and so, ... the teacher says, you fill in the rest. Every kid writes, you coach my hockey team, you take me for ice cream, you read me books. Here's what Courtney writes. I love you, Daddy, because you work hard and bring home money for the family. Right? That's 5-year-old Courtney. Like, so here I am. I swear this is true story, absolutely true. More than 20 years ago, I see this in my dresser one morning, and I'm like, I'm taking that to work. I take it into my office, and I put it on my, hanging on the side of my desk where no one can see it except for me. And I've had it there for 25 years, literally. Yeah. And every time I'm having a bad day, or I just like, it's like, I love you, Daddy, because you work hard and you bring home money for the family, Courtney. And it's got her little smiling face picture on there. And of course, she couldn't fit her whole name on one line, so the Y had to drop down. But so it's inspired me for 25 years. And I'm getting near to retirement. Haven't announced a date yet, but I would say in golf terms, I teed off on 18. I'm in the fairway somewhere. The guys that play golf with me on Friday know that can take quite a long time. I made 7 on a par 4 on 18. It was terrible. But I would like Joe to come up. I'm going to present this to Joe because Joe, I think this will hopefully, 5-year-old Courtney wisdom will provide you inspiration like it did for me for 20 years. Yeah, you got to see this. The picture is priceless. Pigtails, and everything. So, lastly, Father Mario said it amazing, and I could not say it better. And when he made you turn around and face the congregation there, that was special. But I would say, as you stand here today, surrounded by people who love you so much, I want you to take a moment to soak it all in. This is the beginning of a beautiful adventure together, and I couldn't be more excited to see what the future holds for you both. So my final duty and great privilege is to propose a toast to this couple. Please stand and raise your glasses with me as we propose a toast. Of course, I brought the blue light and the champagne because I wasn't sure which way to go there. But so here's a toast to Courtney and Joe. May your love continue to grow stronger with each passing day. I wish you the fun and excitement for today, the hopes and dreams for tomorrow, love and happiness forever. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Snyder. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Hi, everyone. For those that I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet, I'm Kelly. And the beautiful bride is my sister. But not only that, she's my best friend and one of my favorite people in the world. My dad held it together fairly well. I think I should take the over on 3 times crying, but we'll see how I can get through this. First, I want to say thank you to Joe's family, to my parents, and to Courtney and Joe for this beautiful evening. This is truly magical. Everyone looks beautiful. No one is dressed outside of the dress code, which means that you don't get the wrath of Courtney. You guys look incredible. And please don't take it personally because Courtney has been setting a dress code for me since I was 5 years old. But thank you so much for coming. I know we all can't think of a better reason to celebrate than these two. And Courtney did me the profound honor of sandwiching me between my dad, who, as you just saw, is the most epic speaker of all time, and Butch, who's probably going to be hilarious. No pressure. But I'm going to do my best. And I'm really sorry. I hope everyone has a full glass, but I'm not going to promise to keep this short because I have known Courtney her entire life, and so I have 27 years, give or take, of content. But when you know somebody that well, sometimes it can be hard to put into words just how much they mean to you. Courtney and I have done everything together. We literally shared a bedroom for 15 years until I went to college, at which point she then came to Michigan State, and we shared a bedroom again for another year by choice. So I sat down and I couldn't really figure out where to start until I realized that there was really only one place to start, and that is in the middle. Because if Courtney is anything, she is in the middle. And so if you have 3 kids in your family or you grew up with 3 kids in your family, then you know that birth order is definitely a thing. And Courtney is the middle. And I'm not talking about like being mediocre or average, because if you've known Courtney for 20 seconds or 20 years, you know that she is definitely not that. But I mean the middle as in the center. Courtney is the center of every party. She talks the loudest. She hypes everyone up. She brings the fun until she gets tired. And then she'll fall asleep right in the middle of wherever she is. Sometimes even in the middle of your conversation with her. And, she, in our family, a lot of times, she's the referee. When, a couple of us may not be seeing eye to eye, Courtney is the person that we call. She listens to both sides. She gives really sound advice. She gives you about an hour to follow that advice until she calls you back and she tells you in a way that only Courtney could to grow up and get over it. But today, Courtney, you are in the middle of the best day ever. The part between saying I do and dancing the night away with your husband and everyone that you guys love. And the beginning of a really amazing journey together. Courtney also, part of her journey led her to a house in Grosse Pointe, which I love all the Grosse Pointers in the room. Super cute town, middle of nowhere. And there we learned where Courtney stops a project, and that is right smack dab in the middle. So thankfully, Joe came along, and they have made that beautiful house their home. And what I realized is that a lot of times I tried to offer Courtney guidance along her journey, and I didn't always know exactly where she was headed, but she has a level of patience that I just couldn't understand. And if you're lucky enough to be loved by Courtney, which everyone in this room is, then you know that the most important thing she sees through to the end 2,000%. And that if she's your friend or your wife or your sister or your aunt, she is always there for you. She always shows up, even when she's not invited. And she always shows you how much she loves you. And so the best part of Courtney's journey so far has been her love story with Joe. Joe, it's your turn. First, I want to say congratulations to all of Joe's friends because you all have gotten married in the last 2 years, I'm pretty sure. This guy has gone to more weddings in 2 years than most people will in an entire lifetime. And that is a testament not only to his epic dance moves, which you'll all see later, but also to the fact that he is just everyone's friend. Joe, you are such an incredible partner to our Coco and an amazing guy. We are so, so lucky to be gaining another brother named Joe. We like the one we had, but we love you too. And I'm just so grateful that you two chose each other. And I'm so excited for you in this chapter and in the next one too, because I see from the way that you both interact with your nieces and nephews who think that you hung the moon, except for Juliet, but she'll come around, that you will both be incredible parents one day, hopefully very soon. So my advice, smooch. My advice to you both, I will try to frame this in a sports analogy. They are both athletes. I probably won't do as well as my dad speaking hockey up here. But my advice to you both is to remember that everyone in this room is your biggest fan and that we are here cheering you on through your greatest victories and your toughest losses. And I know, too, that you have a VIP cheering section up in heaven, led, of course, by Mr. Snyder, Joe's dad. And I'm certain that right now he's celebrating with us. I know Courtney was really honored to have gotten to know him over the years. They shared a lot of common interests, dinner parties, expensive wine, loving Joe. And Joe, I will remind her that she is not yet on a John Snyder wine budget. But I know for sure that he is up there raising a big glass of Camus. With all of us as we raise our glasses, congratulations, Courtney and Joe. May you always stop to enjoy the middle of your best days and the tough ones too. Congratulations, we love you. Cheers to the Snyders.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Butch Herzog, Joe's best man. And a few years ago, I had the pleasure of having Joe as my best man. And in his speech, he didn't have one nice thing to say about me. I'm not kidding. I went back, I listened to it again when I was preparing for this, and it was 3 minutes and 50 seconds of Joe roasting me. Roasting me. He said congrats once. That was it. So it's nice to be here today. All right, so I first met Joe the first time, it was 6th grade. We were playing basketball against each other. And coincidentally, it also happened to be the first time that I was elbowed in the ribcage and called a bitch. Joe was wasn't your typical Catholic school boy. So I despised him. I really hated him for the first couple of years. And so we're going into high school, freshman year, CC, first day of football practice, okay? And this is before school classes had started, so you haven't really met anybody new. So you're kind of hanging and talking with the kids that you knew from your hometown or maybe before high school. And I see Joe in a distance, not talking to anybody. And at the time, it did not surprise me if he had no friends. I mean, so apparently I was that familiar face for him. And he's walking up to me. I see him walking up to us. And he's dripping sweat already, right? Practice has not even started yet. He is bullets. New Balances with grass stains on them. Tube socks just below his knees. Free t-shirt tucked into his gym shorts. And these nerdy glasses, just huge specs. And he's looking like Stan from Space Jam, if anyone knows Space Jam. Just such a dork. And he just goes, "Hi. I'm Joe. You guys here for football practice?" I'm just like, there's no way this kid thinks we're going to be friends. There's no way. I know, he probably does still have those shorts. Over that season, I really met Joe, right? We played every day together, and as everybody here knows, as soon as you get to know Joe, you realize what a fabulous guy he really is. He, we became best of friends after that, and I mean, we went to the same college, we played the same sports, we had the same friends, we lived together. Our landlords loved us. And Joe is the most loyal guy I have ever met. He's one of those people that you just want to have in your life more and more, and you just like being around him. And he's probably the funniest person I know as well. And there's a big asterisk next to that statement, big asterisk. And the reason being is because when he tries to be funny, he's not. He's just not. He's not. It's all those other times when it's just Joe being Joe. That's when he really gets you. And I think in many ways, the fact that he has more nicknames than anybody here can probably even imagine is a good example of that. He must have at least, I don't know what, like a dozen? At least a dozen. Most of them from me, yes. At least a dozen he's been consistently called over the years. I mean, they all have some stupid, funny story behind them. I mean, Big Tuna, Joey Pipes, Mac, Snowplow Joe, that's fun. He would drive a snowplow truck for 4 months out of the year to school every day. Every day. I still think you're probably the only one to get a speeding ticket and a snowplow. Junior's another one. He walked into school one day with a pimple, the size of his head. It's the biggest zit I've ever seen in my life. Still, and we called it Joe Jr. And he tried to cover it up with a Band-Aid. Like that was gonna cover the watermelon on his face. Skid marks is one. I think that one kind of can go under the radar. Joe is one of a kind. He really is one of a kind. You're not off the hook yet. You're not off the hook. Well, I gotta make you a little bit more queasy here. So, if you were to punch in Joe Snyder into Google right now, you might think you get like maybe Joe and Courtney's wedding website, maybe some old football highlights. No, you're getting Joe Snyder, the European male thong company that is huge. Apparently it's really big in Europe, very big. And I'm talking, these things are skimpy. It does not leave a lot left to the imagination. These things are very, very, it's perfect, it's perfect. And they all have Joe Snyder plastered right around the waistband. Just big bold letter, Joe Snyder, Joe Snyder, Joe Snyder, Joe Snyder. And so, look it up. So once I found this out, this is like 5 years ago, I found this out. Of course, I had to send him a pair. So he gets them, eventually he finds out, who sent them. We had our laughs. In my mind, you throw these out, there's no reason he has to hold these. Zero reason, right? Never gonna wear them. About a year ago, they resurfaced. Joe had just moved in with Courtney, and I don't want to speculate, I don't care, but Joe wore them. He had them, he wore them. Maybe it was Valentine's Day, supposedly. I'm talking, these things are crazy. Their washing machine happened to break at the same time. Mary, you might be knowing where I'm going with this right now. And so they bring it over to Courtney's parents' house. They eventually have to do their laundry at some point, right? Bring it over, they drop it off, and Mary, being the lovely lady that she is, this is Courtney's mother, decided to, flip them and then fold them for them. And Joe gets back, and there are the Joe Snyder undies, thong, right on top. And to this day, not a word between them has been said about it. So I'm glad I can do my part. I think the best part is me just picturing your face, Mary, just being like, and this is when Joe was brand new to the family. Not brand new, but kind of new, where he still has to kind of impress the family, And I can just picture Mary being like, not only is my daughter's boyfriend dating someone who wears a male thong, right? But he gets them custom made with Joe Snyder across the waistband. You're welcome, Joe. I'm glad my best prank ever took 5 years to bloom. So a couple of years ago, Joe started talking about this girl that he's been seeing, Courtney, more and more in conversation. And at the time, I'll be honest, I didn't really think much of it. I didn't, because up until this point, Joe had pretty unrealistic expectations of what a relationship was. I need someone who's cute, someone who's not gonna nag me ever. I need someone that lets me hang out with my friends, whatever I want, and Republican. But those were the main points right there. And don't get me wrong, those are all great. We all would love that, but Joe thought they existed, so it's... So he was a lost cause. He brought Courtney around more, and pretty quickly we could tell it was legit, right? Joe was dressing better. I mean, he's not even wearing socks tonight. In the past, that was not on purpose. He was dressing better. He was saying no to things as we were inviting him out. He was posting Instagram stories. Joe posting Instagram. Yeah, that was probably you. Yeah, the filter. I was like, Joe doesn't even know what a filter is now. And I think anytime someone who's really close to you, one of your best friends, starts to see someone new or enter into a new relationship, you're always worried that something's going to change. Nothing changes with Courtney. Nothing. I mean, with Joe and Courtney, that's just not the case. And in fact, with Joe and Courtney, they enhance each other. They make each other better people. And I think even more importantly than that, with everything that Joe's been going through this past year, it's been a difficult time. And Courtney's been there, kind of that just, you've been a light and a source of strength for Joe that I am so happy he didn't have to go through that alone. And I think it's a testament to what your relationship's going to be like in the future and the kind of woman you are. And so I'm just happy you didn't have to go through that alone. That, I think there's a higher reason that you've been put in his life. So with that being said, Joe and Courtney, thank you so much. It's been an honor to be up here tonight. I really appreciate you letting me be a part of this. I love you guys to death. I wish you nothing but love and happiness. You're the best. And if we could all raise a toast for Joe and Courtney. Cheers.
All right, you guys, first of all, thank you everyone for coming. Again, a beautiful room. Our three speakers, Dad, Kelly, who, look at, is still fixing my dress like in last minute. Yes. Butch, amazing. Everyone in this room looks absolutely stunning and are better people than you are beautiful. You're beautiful too, but, and we are just so blessed to have everyone in our lives. Joe wants to say a little something, and then we'll lead you all in grace, and we will get to eating and dancing. So.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Butch. I didn't know that's how that story was going to come out, but Mrs. Van has lockjaw lips because it's never been spoken of until then. So, except for us, but it's funny. I'm glad that she knows that it's not me getting my name on spandex. It's actually a brand. Literally Google it. Yeah. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for making the trip. Whether you travel 20 minutes or, got stuck in a Dallas airport, Eric. It just means the world to us to have all of our closest family, friends. I mean, there's more people that we wish were here that are physically on Earth and not. But we know that everyone that we love is here. If they're not here in this room, they're here with us in spirit. So just want to raise a toast to that and say thank you, and let's have a great night. If you don't get on the dance floor, you're out. You're kicked out. We have security, so I better see everybody up here. But cheers to the first Mrs. Snyder this millennium. So.
All right, if everyone could join us in a quick blessing. We're just going to do the traditional. So, bless us, O Lord, and these are gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. And Joe, you better get me to heaven. That's on you, boo.
Yeah, that's a tough job. I got a tough job. I'll get you out.